With the clear coat on the body now curing for a couple of days, in the meantime I moved on to the interior. And I wanted to start off by changing a couple of parts. The seats and the steering wheel, although pretty nice, not really the look I was after. So I went to my buddy Blackbox STL on Cults 3D and found a couple of files that I wanted to use. One with a couple of steering wheels and another with a nice set of seats. So these of course need to be printed out. And for this I'm using Chitubox Pro. You can check it out if you want to. I personally don't really know if for a novice the Pro version is necessary. But if you do absolutely know everything about it, then maybe it is worth it. For me, the basic version is nice enough, but that is all up to you to decide. All of the parts were loaded into the software and then I started adding the supports. There are various ways of doing this. I have a couple of videos on my channel specifically on 3D printing that go way more in depth, so if you want to know more, check those out. In this video I'm just going to go over some general things. You can do just a standard support that is added by the software itself, a sort of automated version that isn't really all that great in most cases. I prefer just to do it by hand, placing every support exactly where I want it to be. Now once that was completed, I could move on to copying the seats and also the seat frames, as I needed 2 of those. As far as settings go, nothing really fancy. The standard settings for the Saturn S from Elegoo are a 0.05 and I want them a lot cleaner with a lot less print lines, or actually more print lines, but then not as high. So I'm setting it to a 0.01 and the rest of these settings I'm not touching whatsoever. You could speed it up a little bit, but I'm still playing with the machine as I just got it in. So like I said, I'm going to be printing this on the new Elegoo Saturn S. It is an upgraded version of the previously released Saturn with a couple of upgrades here and there. I'm going to go into a bit more depth on a future episode for that printer specifically. The resin I'm using is also given to me by Chitubox. It is their Conjure Rigid, has a couple of very nice features to the resin, is available in various colors, and they also have a lot of other items for 3D printing available. So links are down below if you're interested to know more about that. After slicing all of the files up, I moved them into my printer, selected them, and started printing. As you can see, there are a couple more parts on the screen here. And of course all of them printed, but they will not be used in this video yet, as there are some tires, some brakes, and the wheels. But that is all for the final video once I start on the exterior finishing. In this case I'm just going to focus on the seats and the steering wheel, as that is for the interior. So as you can see, the parts came out really nice. They cleaned up super well. They have a little bit of a sprue underneath it that needs to be cleaned up, and some print lines, but nothing special, just a little bit of sanding and fitting before I could move on. Now in this case the seats were a little bit too wide. I could reprint them, but I can also just sand them down a little bit by hand. That is just a bit quicker. But if you would like to, you can just load the files into Chitubox, remove the lock on the ratio, and you can scale it down and make them a little bit narrower. Of course, this will change a couple of things on the seats themselves, or the part that you want to resize, as you are playing around with all of the shapes, but not all of them at once. So like I said, I decided just to do it by hand, as I already have the parts printed out and pretty much ready to go, and wanted to move on with the interior and not wait again for the parts to be fully printed. But if you want to, you could just reslice them, add the supports, and print them again, but then just a bit narrower. So after the reshaping and sanding, they fit up nicely in the place they need to be. I sanded all of the parts down with a 600 grit just to get rid of the small print lines that might be visible here and there, and clean them up in general before adding some primer from Splash. For the interior, I wanted to go with a sort of ochre brown that has been used in a lot of Ferraris. Mostly if they are painted red, they will have an interior like this one. And I really like that look. Since the exterior has a nice red tone to it with a bit of brown, I thought this would be an ultimate combination, specifically going with the hot rod look that I'm after. A couple coats later, and I let the parts cure overnight. Since I applied quite a lot of coats to achieve full and even coverage, I didn't really want to go straight ahead, so overnight it was, and the next day I could move on to adding the flocking for the carpet to be simulated. I'm just using a bit of clear, in this case semi-gloss, as a glue, and while it is still super wet, the flocking is poured on top of it so it sticks down nicely. While that is setting up, I'm moving my attention to the dashboard. It is a quite intricate piece with a lot of details already molded in, but luckily with this Revell Germany release of the kit, also a super nice decal sheet to finish it all off. I did, however, run into a little bit of a problem. As you can see, I painted the dashboard in the ochre brown, and I painted all of it in that ochre brown. It would have been a lot easier for myself if I would have just masked the gauge cluster off and also the radio as well and painted that black. Now I didn't do that, I just used all of the decals instead and then needed to retouch a couple of things around all of the parts to fully cover it up and make it black, but in the end it looked a lot better. Also, the problem with this main big silver decal, there are a couple of buttons that are sticking out, so make sure to poke some holes in the decal before you place it so you can just slide it over these sort of knobs. So like I said, I did not paint the gauge cluster black beforehand, so now that all of the decals have been applied, there are a lot of spots that are still in that ochre brown or tan, and that of course looks kind of weird and unfinished, so I had to touch those up by hand with a bit of black paint and also paint around all of the bezels for the gauges themselves so that the decal lines up a lot nicer. As with all of the complicated shapes, it didn't really sit in place exactly where it needed to be and was just a little bit off. Therefore, I touched those up as well just to complete the look and make it nice and make it nice. The steering wheel was also painted black in the center, just doing it with a brush, and then for the main door panels I added all of the decals. Now the main kit itself isn't really all that detailed on the door panels themselves, but luckily with the decals included in the Revell Germany kit, you can just fully finish it off. On the center console, I also needed to apply a couple of decals, and I learned my lesson this time. I painted the inside sections first with a matte black before putting the decals on. The gear shifter could then be put in place as well, and that needed to be touched up a little bit with some flat black before I moved on to putting on the seat belts. In the kit, there is a super nice decal sheet, as I've mentioned a couple of times in this video already, and on that decal sheet there are some seat belts as well. Now, although that is a nice detail, they will look kind of weird as they will conform completely to the seat, and from far away that might be good, but from close up that of course is not going to cut it. So what I did is just cut a couple of strips of seatbelt material and also made some custom buckles from a sheet of black styrene. I simply just cut it to a length and then made some small blocks to simulate the seatbelt buckles themselves, and the clasps, or maybe I'm just switching that around, were used from an old kit that I still had laying around that were left over and just glued in place. The same was of course done to the front seats. I could then move on to gluing those in place with a bit of super glue and then finalizing the rest of the interior by putting the steering wheel on and gluing the dashboard in place. But before we can do that, I mentioned those seatbelt decals that were included in the kit. I'm using the decals for the main buckle itself, simply just cutting those off and placing those on the newly created parts that I made earlier. And now I can glue the steering wheel and dashboard in place to finish the interior off.